Welcome to Ottawa Real Estate Talk with Miguel Vidal and Cristofer Shane of the Home Guyz team at Solid Rock Realty. This episode is brought to you by Oakwood. If you're looking to build your custom dream home, regardless of your budget, Oakwood Custom Homes is your one-stop shop for before and after services. Oakwood is a recognized innovation leader that you can trust and rely on for a quality build that's both on budget and exactly as you imagine. Check them out at oakwood.ca. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 16 of Ottawa Real Estate Talks. I'm your host, Miguel Vidal. I'm here with my business partner, Cristofer Shane, and we've actually brought on our entire team. So we've got Nilo, Shaunna, and we call him Junior. It's my younger brother, Chris. Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
How you doing?
So we brought you guys on because I think what we wanted to do right off the hop was kind of ask each of you, you guys, obviously, you got licensed however many years ago. Some of you tried it on your own, some of you didn't, and you got to the point where you joined the Home Guyz team. And I want an idea as to when that journey started, how you were doing, why you joined the team, and where you are right now with regards to life in general and how we've helped you get to where you are right now with regards to your business and accountability and stuff like that. So we'll start with Nilo. Nilo.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Nilo Osorio. My transfer into real estate, I went from residential care, 13 or so years, with the last 5 years as a full-time elementary school teacher. Landed into real estate, much more control over my life and my schedule, and worked as a single agent for a few years up until joining the Home Guyz. And one of the reasons why I joined them was support. Six heads are better than one. Psychological support, technological support, emotional support, all kinds of support. Things that I did not think about as a single agent, which myself, for me, was a lonely field. The other side of things too is it helps fill the gaps. The nature of real estate is you get paid today and you may not get paid for the next 3 months. Right. So it does help keep things consistent. Currently, the market and what we're experiencing is things are still moving along quite well at a slower pace, but the market seems to be holding strong here in Ottawa. So we continue to support those clients that call in solely for, what do I do during COVID? I need some help here. Like, should I buy today, tomorrow, later? So, we're here for the people that want to buy today and tomorrow, and it's all a free service anyway. So the market's still moving on strong, and we're happy to hear from you.
Nice, nice. Also, Nilo, if you remember, before you joined the team, you had worked with another team previous, but
I've worked alongside. I've never committed to a team except Home Guyz.
Okay, so it took you a while because obviously we were kind of like, you were in that process where you were trying to figure things out you had just worked alongside a team. You were trying to figure out whether or not you were going to be your own agent or join the team. Right. So what was the trigger point for you to say, this makes sense?
In all honesty, it was the trust that we had built between the first time you met me and then I think 2 years later or 2.5 years later when we decided to commit. It was definitely the trust that had broken down for myself independently over time.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely trust.
Cool. All right, let's move on to Shaunna. Shaunna, you've been on the team for it's been 3 months? 4 months now?
Yeah.
And you've seen, I'm assuming, somewhat of a benefit being on the team as opposed to what you were doing before, right? So let's just go into...
Yeah, absolutely. Being on the team.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. So being on the team has definitely allowed me to have a lot of support. It's really helpful to be able to reach out to people any time of the day with questions. You don't feel like you're ever bothering anybody. And then also having the constant stream of clients coming in. So you guys have a great system, and you have really broken down everything that comes into play when it comes to doing a deal. So there's no stone that's been left unturned, and that's been really helpful to me.
Awesome. So you've had your license for how long?
I'd say about 4 years.
So prior to joining the team, you were doing it part-time, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So you were working another job and still doing this on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you found during that time period while you were part-time, did you find it was difficult for you to actually really focus and commit while still having that other full-time job?
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to do real estate part-time, and it's really hard to do real estate part-time without support.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you right now in terms of business? Like, if you compare yourself now to where you were doing it part-time on your own, what's changed?
I'm definitely doing more deals. I've been fairly consistent since I've joined the team. Whereas before joining the team, I would do a couple deals in a short period of time, and then it was easier to get distracted, and I would start focusing on my other job, and then I'd come back to real estate. And since joining the team, I've been the most consistent that I've been since I've started real estate.
Nice. Good stuff. All right, let's go on to Junior.
These were all positive, feel-good stories, weren't they?
Yeah. Let's drop your story.
Go. I'll shake it up a bit.
Okay.
No, I've been in the business for 5 years. I'll be honest. If it wasn't for Miguel and Chris, I probably wouldn't have made it out of there. I would have made it into the business 2 days after getting my license, because I didn't know where to start and where to go and what the heck to do. So from getting my license and taking my sweet old time and taking the full 18 months to get it back then, to joining the team, and then Chris Miguel guiding me and putting up with all my mid-20s, I'm 5 years in and in the best situation I've ever been in.
Nice. So I guess you're different than Nilo and Shaunna because you never went about it on your own. Did you ever at any point think to yourself, I wonder if I could do this on my own, and then realize, yeah, no, that's not going to happen?
Pretty much every waking minute. Every time something was going bad, I would think to myself, screw this, I'm going to do this on my own. And then I'd think about all the expenses, and I would think about what I have and how much it would cost me. And I'd be like, I might as well just start another job. So, it crossed my mind at some point, but it would never make sense because there was just a good mesh within the team that I would not want to leave, and I probably can't be without.
Nice.
Very, very family, wholesome. I don't know. It's weird, especially now, and there's a pandemic, and now everything's on Zoom, and it just feels like I miss this in person.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. Hopefully, we'll have the office open soon. Hopefully.
Yeah,
we'll see. Okay, so let's chat a little bit about where you guys are right now in the middle of this quote unquote pandemic. We're in 7 weeks in. What have you guys noticed the most since the pandemic started with regards to sales, with regards to offers, multiple offers, listings, things like that? We'll go one at a time. So let's go Shaunna first.
Coming into the pandemic, we were in a really strong seller's market. And it seems like, to me anyways, we're still in more of a seller's market, but we're definitely not seeing the multiple offers that we were before going into this. There's very little inventory, so homes are definitely selling, and they're selling quickly if they're priced correctly, but hopefully things go back to normal soon. And I feel like if things do go back to normal in the next couple weeks, we will continue to be in a seller's market. That's my opinion.
Okay. Nilo.
Very similar, and even in those properties that do end up in competition, because there's still a percentage of that do, and those are the ones that are live-in ready and ready to go. You can expect that the competition in terms of amount of people might be smaller, but the prices are still prevailing. So that tells us that our serious buyers, those that can stay on the real estate train, as opposed to waiting it out. They're hot to trot. They're going to be your, they're going to be a bit of competition for you. But at the same time, there are less of them. So now's a good time. I'd say.
It's funny. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but, and I'm sure Shaner will attest to this because he loves his numbers. But so post pandemic, we didn't have a lot of inventory on the market, but we had a ton of buyers. Hence why everything was going into multiple offers, selling for stupid numbers. Pre-pandemic, we actually have less inventory than we did post-pandemic, and things are still selling, not with as many multiple offers and for insane numbers. So it's safe to say that the Ottawa market as a whole has slowed down, but it has not come to a freezing halt. Correct?
Exactly. No, but when you look at the numbers, it's funny. The board is now posting daily numbers to show what's going on in terms of sales and
with COVID, right?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I just took a look at the graph, and right at the date that they said the work order from home, that's it. Everyone has to work from home. We were selling on average of about 500 to 600, getting up to that 600 range per week in terms of sales.
Right.
As of today, and if you compare it to last year this time we were selling 550, 575 homes a week, and now we're doing about 275. So you're seeing a substantial about 200 homes difference between last year and this year in terms of sales,
which is huge. So so that brings me to this point. Okay, so at the end of the day, you guys deal a lot with buyers. You do deal with listings when you get them at the end of the day. Shaunna, we just sold one last night. And it was funny because, well, it's conditionally sold. So we won't get into that because we can't divulge any info on that just yet. But you guys do deal with a lot of buyers. So how important is it? And I mean, even before this all started, it was important. But how important is it even more so now, heading into, as we come out of this pandemic, to get your buyers pre-approved by either a bank or mortgage broker? Like, how important is this? I'll leave that open. Whoever wants to chat first.
Well, the one thing I was going to say was, since this all started, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, for the last year and a half, everything was, if you had a condition of any sort in any type of offer, the odds of you getting that home was slowly getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. The one thing I've noticed since this all slowly started about a month and a half ago is that a lot more homes are still selling, even though there's not that high of a number of homes selling and listings and all that stuff, but they're all selling conditionally now. So it's almost like we're going like a step backwards. And I'm also noticing that, again, there's no multiple offers as much as before, but houses aren't selling at that substantial number. They're actually selling less.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, as of right now, what it's done, I think, in my opinion, is that it's balanced the market in the sense that when you put a listing up, you're able to the buyers are able to sit and think about it before making the decision to actually put an offer forward on that, correct? So
you've got that little 48-hour window or whatever it seems like. Not like before where you get a call like, hey, something came up and you're like, let's go right now, because if you don't go see it right now, you're not getting it.
So, okay, so I'm going to put this question out in a different way then. Okay, so you've got buyers, they've quote unquote gotten their pre-approval before the pandemic. One of them's been laid off. What now? Nilo?
You don't have those keys to get that pre-approval done again, because there could be some changes. With these daily to weekly updates, you got to stay up to date with these things because there will be ramifications from lenders if you've been qualified 3 months ago, and within those 3 months you got fired, and maybe you're on government supports. The results could be different. So definitely do your due diligence.
So how important is it for people to make sure that they speak to a mortgage broker? And I only say a mortgage broker right now more than a bank, because for the most part, the banks are, even though they're mobile, they're basically
availability.
Yeah, they're non-existent, right? So you could have one person at the bank that you talk to, and then 3 months later, you find out that that same person you were talking to has now been shipped to another location, and now you're dealing with someone new.
I'll put it into perspective because I just closed on a new house and I went through a mortgage broker and also had to go through the bank because of the bridge financing. Dealing with the broker on its own separately to secure the financing was easy peasy. All the documents got sent to me, signed everything, sent it back to them, no big deal. But when it came to the bridge, I actually had to go to the branch on multiple occasions just to get it right, and they still didn't get it right in the end.
Yeah.
So the advantages of having that broker on your side to pull for you, especially during these times, is so important.
Go, Nilo.
To add, the broker is working for you. They're there for you. And during this pandemic, it's perfect design. When you call your financial rep, you should be getting a call back that day or within hours. You shouldn't have to wait. And the dollars that you are investing, why wouldn't you want the process to run like this as opposed to this? You don't want spikes in the process. And you're going to find out those spikes like right at the crucial point when you wish you would have known before. So let's work preventative and get our pre-financing done.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, so before we shut this down, in a nutshell, what do you, each one of you, think is the most important thing right now from a buyer and a seller's perspective to know about the market right now in Ottawa?
Can I go first?
I would say
go. Okay, go ahead, Shaunna. Go.
Floor's open.
Yeah, I would say being prepared and working with a realtor, someone who can give you pointers and really set you up before going into offers or going into multiple offer situation. That's the most important thing in my mind.
Shainer?
Mine's communication. Communicating with your buyers and sellers and keeping them up to date on absolutely, positively everything that you could think of, even the most insignificant thing, let them know.
Yeah, totally agree. Nilo?
Education, build trust with your realtor, and start doing something with that education. Let's learn together and let's apply together.
As an FYI, people, Nilo was a former teacher, so education. Okay.
You can just hear it in his voice, the way he's explaining it in class.
Junior?
I'm the same as Chris. You got to be consistently talking to your clients and keeping them up to date on everything what's going on, whether it's around their listing or their area, and just touching base and also just making sure everyone's okay.
Nice. I'll tell you what I think. I think right now, at the end of the day, if I'm a seller, regardless, if my house is under $1 million, I'm looking at putting it up right now because the amount of exposure that you're going to get right now with everybody sitting at home on their laptops, looking at properties, realizing that the home that they're in isn't the home that they want to stay in forever. So they're going to want to move at some point. Anything within that sweet spot in Ottawa between 200 and like 650, it's super affordable and going to sell super fast. So if I'm a seller, I'm telling people this is your time right now to put the house up.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, thanks everybody for chiming in. I appreciate having you here. We'll do this again soon. Make sure you can, if you have any questions or anything, you can check us out online at ottawarealestate.ca, thehomeguyz.com. You can follow us on social media, so Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Again, you can check out our podcast on Apple, Google, or Spotify. And
if we're not your realtors, well,
we should be. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Thank you.